let me start at this point. Yes, live. We are live, finally. Technical difficulties and whatnot. We had a ban for 29 days, or I did anyway, on my profile. So I had to go ahead and switch profiles, make myself an admin, and that took all of fucking 20 minutes. So, yeah, here we are, finally. Yeah. We're going to talk about some AFC, NFC East drafts and offseason moves. I had to go Aaron Rodgers, obviously. And since we're doing AFC East, I had to rep the Bills, but that's our day. So, here we are.
I'm wearing full
Sabres.
Full Sabres gear in mourning of the end of this disastrous season. It was like putting a horse down.
Yeah, you like feeling like shit?
No, not really. I didn't even watch the game, but I still watch it.
I just can't. Sometimes I'm just like, no, there's no way that's gonna happen.
Right.
But shit. Let's get into it since we're a little bit late here.
Yeah. Let's
NFC
do that.
East. Let's basically, we're biased a little bit because we're all AFC East over here, but we'll try to be unbiased as we can.
We'll be fair.
I cannot promise you that I will not shit on the Cowboys. And I'm not sorry for that. I cannot promise anything of the sort.
We'll do our best. With
that said, I think a little whiskey is in order. So cheers to not the Cowboys.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to kick us off with the NFC East.
Let's do it.
I want to start it off by giving my prediction as to how this division is going to fall by the end of this coming season.
Okay.
Go from the bottom to the top. I think Washington will finish dead last in the bottom of the division, followed by the Giants at third. And this was a toss-up, but I think in this division, with Dak Prescott healthy, the Cowboys are the most talented team in the division. And I do see them winning the division. Beating out Philly, who I do have Philly being a wild card team, though.
Really? So, you got two of them going in? You think so? You think both of those teams are going to be that good that they have two going in?
I think they
barely squeaked anybody in last year,
Dallas
had anybody in. Come on.
Dak's injury set back Dallas.
Well, yeah,
bad.
That's obvious. Yeah. Not to mention all the bad quarterback play in Washington until Alex Smith did anything.
Philly, if you go back, they were in a lot of their games last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it just came down to bad play calling or Doug Peterson simply not caring whether Philly wins or loses at that point. Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts, all that disaster was going on.
See, I think Washington over Giants, to be honest.
Washington wins the division?
No, I think Washington over Giants at the very least. I think Washington can compete maybe with the Eagles, but I unfortunately still think with that coming back, that Dallas will probably take the division. But where I don't agree with you is I still think it's probably only going to be like 9-7, maybe 10-6.
Well, it'll be. We got that extra 17th game in this year too.
True. Oh my god, I keep fucking forgetting about that.
That's a wild. That's a real wild card right there. Oh yeah, it's been throwing me off forever. I just keep going back like, man, 10-7 just sounds weird.
Yeah, I know. I'd rather have an even number. Like you guys, I mean, we got a couple of people watching. You guys think like we should have an even number? Like maybe they should have bumped it up like 2 games instead of 1. Keep it at 18 and then just eliminate 2 preseason games.
I mean, players are already complaining about. Have already for a long time have been complaining about the way the schedule is and everything. Every player in the league hates the Thursday night game from from everything you read or hear, it's just I think 2 extra games is too much. I honestly would have liked to have them kept it at 16.
I would have. I think that would have been all
Um,
right, honestly.
but it is what it is. It's all about what the NFL wants, which at the end of the day is to generate revenue. So that 17th game is going to generate a lot of revenue.
Well, yeah. I mean, would you rather go to a game that counts or go to a preseason game? Like
Right.
you're
I
probably gonna
do
get
like
more
how
there.
I do how like they determine how those games will play out though. They'll play I believe it's so like the Bills would play the winner of the NFC North from last season or so. I can't remember how they said it works out, but it's like it's a cross conference game. I know that, but I'm just not sure like how they determine which division plays which division.
I don't know at this point. I think it was just a little bit random, honestly.
Cast
Because our team is what, Washington this year? Is that extra team?
Yeah. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's what it is. It's the AFC East versus the NFC. The winner of the AFC East versus the winner of the NFC. So it would be Buffalo and Washington, and then the rest of the teams just follow line after
Yeah,
that.
okay. That makes
Play
sense.
the counterpart from the previous season. That was a smart way to do it. Like I said, Tasker and Chris Brown explained it on One Bills Live like 4 times, and every time I'm just
Still
like,
don't remember. Every time I'm just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I just don't remember.
But so with Dallas winning the division, and for both of us, I mean, what do you think was their, besides Micah Parsons, what was their biggest pickup so far? Draft or not draft? Or is it just having Dak back?
I just think Dak coming. I just think Dak coming back. I mean, that offense, they were moving the ball and putting up some points before he got hurt.
Yeah, I'm
And
not gonna lie, they really were. As much
once
as
he
I
got hurt,
hate the Cowboys,
it was just like that offense got stuck in the mud. Like
I mean,
it was fucking
who you
crazy.
had at
And
quarterback?
on defense last year, their best player was DeMarcus Lawrence. He's their best defensive player all day, in my opinion.
Lawrence? Yeah.
Yeah. They added Keanu Neal at safety. So we'll see how that works out. He's a solid safety.
He really is.
When he's healthy. If he could stay healthy, he could be one of the maybe not top 10, but maybe top 15 safeties in the league when he's healthy.
Yeah. I can definitely see that.
But the problem is the rest of their secondary is just going to get burned. So it's going to be up to the offense to put points on the board to be able to keep up. I think they get in a lot of shootouts.
I think it's going to be that way too. And honestly, I mean, if Dak can do what he was doing last year, they could win the majority of those. The only problem is he going to stay healthy, or is he going to go right back to form like he was? Because I see him it's not like his mechanics are like destroyed because he broke his fucking leg.
No, but you got to wonder about his confidence. How's that injury fucking with him mentally?
Is it gonna scare him? Is he like afraid back there now?
Yeah, I mean, and you noticed like when Tom Brady had his knee injury way back when he was in New England, he that first Monday night game, it was against the Bills actually. He was, you can tell he was kind of timid when it came to stepping up into the pocket and trying to deliver a strike, But Tom Brady eventually is going to be Tom Brady and just forget that his knee has been completely rebuilt. Dak Prescott, you got to wonder, does he have that mentality to overcome those thoughts and just go back to playing football?
I mean, everything that I've seen and read about Dak right now, like recently, how he's feeling and everything, is like his confidence level.
Yeah.
From him speaking is really high. I mean, what do you say? He's like I could go in there right now and have a lot of success, which is like one of his
plus, despite the injury, they gave him the contract that he wanted.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't think that was very smart. Honestly. Let's be real.
Yeah, but what were they going to do? Franchise tag him again? Like,
Didn't he say something about like not wanting to be franchise tagged as well?
yeah.
That was
But,
that whole thing was a shit show.
yeah.
But that's
and
Cowboys.
I watched that game too. I watched that injury happen. Whew.
Yeah.
Just like, and I instantly had flashbacks to Alex Smith. And
yeah, exactly.
It was just like, luckily he didn't have all the after effects that Smith had. He didn't get the infection after the surgery and all that. So,
yeah, no, thankful. Like, I hate the Cowboys, but I'd rather not, have him be.
I don't like the Cowboys either, but I'd rather not see a guy with a lot of potential.
Yeah, he's still a good player. They can't hate him as a person.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's players on every team I hate that I like, Like,
yeah,
and he's that guy for me for the Cowboys.
Guys, if you are watching, we are talking about AFC East, NFC East. We're talking about NFC East right now, and basically what they've done on the offseason drafting, blah blah blah. Let's see. I'm looking at their draft haul here, and for 1 minute, I have to shit on them because it's a shittable moment. I would say, but the trade in the draft for the Dallas.
Yeah, no, like I said last,
that's exactly
last week. That's how I started it off last week. Was what the fuck are the Cowboys doing?
Yeah. Like, we were messaging.
I understand because
like,
the Cowboys are pretty well set at receiver between Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and what's the kid's name? No, I can't remember his name.
Jesus, well, I am so unprepared here with that too.
Yeah. Oh, CD Lamb. Yeah, CD Lamb.
Yeah. Wow.
They're pretty set at receiver. Hopefully Zeke could get back to Zeke this season for them. That would be great for them.
Yeah, his first 3 seasons at the most, he was killing.
Well, he led the league in rushing his first year.
Mm-hmm. And then it's like we touched on that last week too. Like,
yeah,
what happened?
He definitely regressed last year for sure.
Oh, he definitely took
a
step.
But a lot of that too is Zeke's one of those players, though he's very talented, very good, is kind of he just is a me guy. He's a me guy.
Mm-hmm.
And
absolutely. I mean,
he doesn't.
Feed me.
He relies a lot on his ability, and he relies on, and he just. It seems like he's more about putting on a show than helping. Like his rookie year, he's hurdling guys, doing all kinds of crazy shit. It seemed like he was hurdling guys every week.
No, right, and that makes sense. Like, he's just trying to be the best him he can be. I can understand that, but it's I don't think he's actually taking the whole scheme and the offense and everything into consideration.
Right, and last year with Dak getting hurt, a lot of the weight of the offensive production fell on him.
Yeah.
And it's like he crumbled under the pressure.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. Especially when he started dropping balls. Like, I'm dropping this pen. Dropping balls and, between fumbling and just not catching out of the backfield like he was.
Right.
Like, there were times where he's just like, boom, hands. Stone hands. I'm not talking about your hands. But...
Right. But, I mean, going back to that trade they made for the draft, they didn't need to draft a receiver. They're set at receiver.
No, but they could have easily taken somebody else or not giving
a
divisional rival.
I was actually thinking about it earlier today, and I think the only reason they made that move is because they called up Philly and they were like, "Who are you taking?" Because we don't want the Giants to get Devontae Smith.
But they want the Eagles to get
Right, but I just think they wanted.
I wouldn't want either one of them to have it.
Right, but at the same time, the Eagles have a very different quarterback situation than the Giants do. Jalen Hurts is still kind of unproven.
Oh yeah,
Daniel Jones. This is a make or break year for him. He's shown flashes, for sure.
Delbert here is agreeing with us that it was a dumb trade overall.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it was a dumb trade. But Daniel Jones is going into what, his fourth or
Third year?
fifth year? Fifth
Really?
or third, maybe?
I was thinking third.
I think it's
Third or
his
fourth.
third. So I mean, this is
Hitting me
really
with
a
these
make
questions, and I'm not ready to like search them.
Yeah. This is really a make or break year for Daniel Jones.
I would think so too.
So you know he's going to be playing his ass off. I think the Cowboys, Washington, and Philly would want to do anything they can to keep him from getting an elite weapon.
Right.
So
Daniel
that's
Jones'
why
third year, by the way. Yes.
I feel like that's why Dallas was okay with giving Devontae Smith to Philadelphia. Still a dumb trade. They could have given him to
absolutely
anybody.
dumbass trade. Like, let's be real. That's
It was a
Jerry
dumbass trade.
Jones,
That's like the only.
shitting on himself.
It's a really like complicated logic, but that's the only logic.
No,
I
I understand. There's a lot more to it than either you or I actually know about what's going on in the minds of these guys. But complicated or not, some logic is just like, no,
Right.
why are you doing this? And that's one of them, I think, anyway.
That's
probably the most shocking trade.
Oh, for sure.
That first round easily.
And speaking of the Giants, like I said, they signed Kenny Golladay after he didn't re-sign with Detroit, and he's in that tier of receivers where he's like right on the cusp of being great, but he's just like good.
He has a lot of potential. He'd easily be a lot better. So I wanted to move away from the Cowboys a little bit because I could talk about how bad the Cowboys are.
Yeah,
that's why every day.
That's why I started moving on to the Giants a little bit.
Yeah, no, I just had it here. Where'd you go, Giants? What was it? Oh yeah, the Kadarius Toney pick in round 1. Pick Toney, the wide receiver out of Florida. Like half the people, like I haven't seen a lot on this kid really, but half the people that I've seen are like even people at the draft, and they're like when he picked them and they show like the Giants fans, and they're all like, "Wait, what?
Right?
Like, is that really who we're picking?" Like,
did you see the video of the Giants fan punching his wall?
No, I did not.
When the Eagles drafted Devontae Smith.
Oh Jesus. I can only imagine. It was probably like that Steelers fan last year that busted his TV and got like famous.
He punched 2 holes in his wall, and his wife got up and was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And then, like, just like a little kid, she's like, "Get upstairs!"
Oh my god! No, I'll have
oh my god, it was hilarious.
I'll have to watch that. Actually, honestly, there's a screen share feature. Like, I might have to like find that and put it up here.
You definitely should, because it was fucking hilarious. I was dying. I mean,
I fucking hate the Cowboys so much, and I'm sorry I have to say that again. But anyway, so the other thing, Aziz Ojulari, I probably butchered that, but round 2, he's picked 50. I know a lot of people were saying that he probably should have went a little higher. I don't know about you, but I think he probably went right where he should have went, honestly.
Who's that?
The outside linebacker from Georgia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think he could have went. I think he could have went a little lower, to be honest. But
yeah,
that could just be me.
They could have done. So I mean, it's the NFC East. They could have done so many. So many things
better.
So many things differently. I mean,
but that's every team. Like, let's be real, you know.
I mean, I'm just looking at the Giants' depth chart right now. Their defensive depth chart, and the only name that jumps out there's only 2 names that jump out at me: Logan Ryan, who's a decent safety, and Jabril Peppers. I mean, those
Jabril Peppers, like
Jabril Peppers,
really good.
He's a streaky player. I mean, going back to when he was first drafted by Cleveland, he's streaky. He'll have like 2, 3, not even
really
games,
good games.
Like 2, 3 drives. 2-3 defensive series in a row that are really good, but he'll be invisible for the rest of the game.
Oh, okay. So I thought you were trying to say like he was going to be like 2-3 games in a row, and
No,
then
I
like
mean
actually playing well. But if it's
he
batting
has been able to.
I haven't watched him enough honestly. But if
He
it's
has
batting
been able to string together a couple nice games, but
yeah,
in a row. But I mean, it's not. He's one of those guys who was in college who's just head and shoulders better than everybody he was playing against.
right.
And he's another
Man
one of those
amongst
guys.
boys.
Once he got to the NFL, he realized he couldn't rely on just his ability.
Right. Yeah, but that's like another Zeke situation.
But again, like other than those two guys, there's nobody really on the Giants defense that like jumps out at you.
No, I mean what? I mean they've gotten rid of everybody the last like 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at their defensive line right now, and this looks like
Nobody.
a defensive line.
Because it's kind of funny. Like I
Leonard
wasn't even
Williams. I
watching
mean, Leonard Williams is a nice defensive end, but
Who was that?
Leonard Williams.
Okay, yeah.
But I feel like Zeke would just. I look at that defensive line, and Zeke should be able to run for like 8,000 yards against them.
He should, yeah. But then again, like it's like we were talking about with him too. He's been fucking dropping the ball too. So
yeah,
he could probably run for a good like 190 and then just drop the ball 3 times or something.
Right.
Put the ball on the ground 3 times, and then what good is 190 if you can't score?
Right.
But it was kind of the same thing you were saying with anybody on the Giants defense to anybody that the Washington football team has drafted this year too, though. Like I'm looking at it right now.
I look at
who?
Yeah.
Who?
Right. No, I hear you on Washington, but they're a team though. They were a team of almost no other than Chase Young.
Yeah.
And that's just because he was the number 2 overall pick.
Yeah.
The rest of the
team,
was good.
He was great.
The rest of the team, he's the best young pass rusher in the game right now. I think he'll lead the league in sacks next year. I think.
You think so? Not this year, but next year, like his 3rd year.
No, this coming season.
Oh, okay.
I think he'll lead the league in sacks.
Nice.
Just because look at the division he plays in. Look at the division he plays in.
Yeah, yeah.
He's gonna play 6
games a year. You could get.
He's gonna play 6 games against Dallas, the Giants, and Philly.
Yeah,
that could be an easy 6-7 sacks right there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That could have been easily 12. You get 2 each game.
Right.
I could see it. Honestly.
But in the playoffs last year, that Washington team, other than Chase Young, really doesn't. Again, just like the Giants defense, but instead with Washington, it's the whole team. There's really not a lot of guys that just jump out at you. You know what I mean?
No,
and they went toe to toe with the team that would eventually win the Super Bowl.
See, that's why I'm saying that we could probably put them up a little higher, but it wasn't just them either. Because, like you said with the Eagles, they were in some of their games. They could flip the other way.
But Ryan Fitzpatrick's in Washington now.
Washington in the Super Bowl.
Is it going to be Fitzpatrick or Fitzmagic? Or Fitzpatrick? Fitzpatrick.
Fitzmagic.
I mean,
I think Fitzmagic for games 1 through 3, and then let's see, the next 4 games it could be either one you flip a coin, and then the rest of the season until the last 2 games he's bad, and the last 2 games he'll kill it and get them into the playoffs.
Right.
Boom. That's my prediction. Washington in the playoffs wins the division at 9-7. I highly doubt that, but I swear to God, if that comes true, I'm gonna come right back to this video.
I mean, but I like the running back, Antonio Gibson.
Mm-hmm. I actually don't mind him.
Had a decent rookie year. I'm looking at his stats right now. He played 14 games, 795 rushing yards, 4.7 average per carry. It's pretty good.
You can't shit on that at all. Yeah.
36 catches for 247, 11 total touchdowns. That's a pretty good year for a rookie running back.
Wow. I didn't realize he was actually that good. It was like a quiet good year, you know?
Third round pick.
Wow. Okay.
Third round pick.
Nice. Oh, yeah. I definitely did not. I didn't really follow it at all.
Yeah. I knew he was a running back. I just wasn't familiar with his stats. That's why.
Like that's all we get. He's a running back.
But I remember watching him in that playoff game last year. It was just like, what? This kid's ripping off a couple, you know?
Is this dude real? Let's see. Who was I going to talk about? There was one. Oh, yeah. Back to the Cowboys for a minute. Who do you think is going to make the biggest impact this year? Dak or Micah Parsons on defense? Like for their each, like for the offense, like Dak's gonna make a big impact, obviously, compared to everybody else that replaced him. But coming from Sean Lee retiring, right? Sean Lee was retiring, and
they lost
Vander Esch
too,
on the field. You're gonna have Micah Parsons come in and just wreck or what? Or try to anyway? Are you gonna force him in there too quick, or are you gonna just let it kind of happen?
It's hard to say. I mean, when Leighton Vander Esch is healthy,
he's top 5.
He is good. He is good when he is healthy.
I believe he's top 5.
Problem is, he can't stay healthy.
Exactly. So in walks Micah one day. Oh, you're a little sore today? You're a little sore today? Right. I'll go in for you. Just rest it. Like 3 sacks and like 10 tackles or something.
And Micah Parsons, I mean, my opinion, was the best linebacker in the draft.
Oh yeah.
But he's got off-field issues.
I mean, that's a thing for the Cowboys, though, isn't it?
That is, but he'll fit right in.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's a thing for them. Yeah.
That's probably why Jerry Jones drafted him.
Yeah, he's
and the Cowboys doing stupid things. Yeah, going back to let's draft like it's the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. Oh, you get them big bad motherfuckers, man. Let's go ahead and draft all of them. No doubt. Yeah, exactly how I was thinking too. I'm like, this kid can, wreck games and everything, but he's wrecking his life on the outside as well. And I mean,
he's Micah Parsons. He's decent in coverage. From what I've seen, just watching highlights of him.
He's fucking fast, though, isn't he? Like, he's the one I'm thinking of, right? He is.
But he's not. I mean, in the NFL, they would have him cover wide, like a slot receiver in college.
Right.
In the NFL, you're not going to be able to do that with him.
Okay. Yeah. No. Absolutely.
He'll get burned by slot guys in the NFL.
Oh yeah, even somebody.
Oh, he's the guy. Like if they play Kansas City, stick him on Travis Kelce. See what happens.
Yeah, because he's big and fast. That's the scary part, dude. Like, you get these like off the field issues out of the way, and you could potentially have a fucking game breaker. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like,
bro, he's definitely like a piece they've been missing on that defense for a long time.
Yeah.
Can he keep his personal shit together?
My guess is in Dallas. Maybe not. Like I liked Greg Hardy when he first came in, and then just holy fuck.
Oh God, he's kidnapping his girlfriend.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, but you got 12 sacks this year. Oh shit!
Right. Greg Hardy was a monster.
Yeah. No, he was. And have you watched any of his fights in the UFC or anything?
I just watched his first one.
The last one I watched, he just beat the shit out of this guy. And he's in such good shape. Like, props to the dude for getting his life together, honestly.
Right.
We're damn. Let's see here.
I'd like to go back to Washington though for a minute.
Have at it.
The Washington no names.
Oh yeah. Washington nobodies.
They really got to straighten out a name. Let's talk about that for a minute. Here's a question for anybody watching. What would you like to see the Washington football team use as their nickname? Because Washington football team just sounds horrible to me.
It's terrible.
I think Premier League soccer when I hear that.
Oh my God, yeah. Jesus Christ. No, it is one of the most terrible names. And the fact that they said they aren't even looking to change it at this point, like in the near future, like, what's happening? You know, like, come on, guys.
But
like, football team of all things.
So
Like,
if anybody has any ideas, feel free to drop them in the comments. But going back to Washington, again, same with Kenny Galladay. They don't have any standout elite receivers, but they have guys that are good.
Right.
They have guys that can get the job done. Guys I would compare to when Josh Allen, before Diggs got here, had Beasley and Brown and the cast of characters along with those two guys, which Zay Jones eventually ended up being traded.
Zay Jones was a complete bust for where he was drafted.
Zay Jones had so much promise. He lived off the fact that when he was in college, he caught literally everything thrown at him.
The problem in the NFL was he couldn't catch the fucking ball,
which makes no sense. Because in college, he was another one of those players who was head and shoulders better than a lot of the guys he was going up against. That's why he got drafted so high. And then when he got to the NFL and he's going against DBs that are better than him.
He didn't know what to do. I think he started getting nervous, dude. He was trying to overdo it, and then he just.
Well, then there was the incident in Los Angeles where he was trying to jump out a window naked.
That shit was ridiculous. All right, you want to go hang out with Greg Hardy now?
At that point, I was really like, is this what the Bills have become?
Yeah, no, that was like our lowest of low points after like having a high point that last season.
Right.
Come on, guys, what is happening? You know.
But back to watch, like I said, they don't have any receivers that really stand out, but they're good. They can, make plays. Terry McLaurin's a decent receiver. I
could see him being like a really good
depth chart. He's number one on the depth chart,
which is unfortunate for him because I don't think he's ready for that.
No,
he's not ready for that.
Like I said, they got Fitzpatrick. They signed Fitzpatrick. Who knows? Poor Fitzpatrick. He'll probably play 6 games.
I am really, really hoping for like Fitzy's sake that it's not like another situation where there's every team he goes to, plays his ass off, falls out, gets the starting job, then he gets shit on for some fucking rookie or somebody who like isn't even really as good as him yet,
I see that's
on to the next team. He'll be on all 32 teams by the end of his career.
You look at the depth chart, Taylor Heineke's on the depth chart as the backup. That kid balled. That kid balled out again. He stood up against a giant in the playoffs last year. And
I agree with that.
Like, he almost did it, man. Like they were
Elijah Swan Jones couldn't catch a cold. Yeah, obviously.
We know.
Yeah, we all know that. Terrible, absolutely terrible. But yeah, no, Taylor Heineke, I think it's going to be the same old for Fitz. He's going to come in, he's going to do his thing, he's going to kick some ass, and then he's going to drop the ball for like a couple games, and they're going to lose confidence in him. In comes Taylor Heineke, has a really good game. He's been waiting for it. He's going to prove himself. He's a starting quarterback. There goes their record. That's my other bold prediction for this episode on Washington.
Fitzpatrick
I have so many bold predictions on Washington.
Fitzpatrick loses his job. That's not really that bold of a prediction.
Okay. But the way it happened.
Right.
That's not even bold either, because that's like the last 3 teams he's played on. So.
Right.
Okay, so the same thing ever is going to happen to Fitzy, so I'll just strike that off the fucking notes.
Yeah, so did I. I want to talk about Chase Young while we're talking about Washington, though.
That's right, yeah, you're talking about him. Go ahead.
This kid is amazing. He is
Agreed.
so good, man. Just so good.
Absolutely.
I mean, and you see them drop him back into coverage sometimes. It's just the guy's just a crazy athlete. And
he absolutely is. And
he
just
can play the
he should not
run.
be expected.
He plays the run. He gets to the quarterback. He can drop into coverage. He can do basically everything.
Mhm.
He's really a unicorn, as they say.
I
People were saying,
agree. Yeah, and I think he's only. I mean, it's his first year. He's only going to get better. It's obvious.
he's only going to get better. Like I said, I think he leads the league in sacks next year.
That is fucking potentially. That is possible. I think it'll take him another year if he does get up to that standard, though.
Yeah.
But then you never know. Anything could happen.
Because they got Montez Sweat on the other side.
Okay.
Sweet. Is it Sweet? Or
I think it's Sweet.
I think it's. I'm not sure. But
Sweat.
What?
Has some native accent in there.
But I mean, he's a solid pass rusher too. So they got two guys coming off of both edges.
Yeah, you imagine if they get some big motherfucker to just plug up that middle like that.
Yeah, they get a guy to plug up the middle so teams can't run on him.
Yeah.
That
what is Zeke really going to do? And he tries to bounce everything to the outside too. And when you got those guys who are fast, you can just get to the ball. So I think Cowboys are fucked this year. I keep telling you, I don't think they're going to be winning the division.
Right.
As much as I don't want them to. I still ultimately think that's going to happen, but
I don't want them to either.
Football gods, can please help us.
Here's my thing. Cowboys fans are just the worst.
Oh, my God. Hold on. Should I tag Jeremy on this? Hold on.
At least when the Bills were bad, we knew the Bills were bad, but we still loved them. You know what I mean? The Cowboys are bad, and teams are still just like, we're going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, Bills all the way this time. No, I hope he pops in real quick so he can hear us shit on the Cowboys. But anyway, no, I believe it too.
Well,
the whole we them boys. What even is that? Come on. Fuck the Cowboys. That's all I have to say on that.
We haven't really talked about Philly because there's some news in Philly.
Let's hear it.
What the hell's going on with Zach Ertz?
What is? I honestly don't know.
He's been. From what I heard something today, the Eagles will take no less than a third-round pick for him.
Really?
Which, at his age, his production was down last year. But again, is that on him or is it on all the other shit that was going on there in Philly?
Whoa. Slow your roll, Elijah. We're talking about the Cowboys. I still like you, buddy, but I've hated the Cowboys since I was a kid. I'm sorry.
Man.
Back to Philly.
I liked them for a minute, but back to Philly.
Can't do it.
Eagles are saying they want, or reports are saying that the Eagles will take no less than a third-round pick for Zach Ertz. Teams like the Bills have been linked as a possibility for a trade.
We've been linked since he even was reported to be available.
Yeah. How does that? We'll get at all that later when we talk about the AFC East, but Bills, among other teams, have been linked as possibilities. Carolina has been listed as a possibility.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But his poor production last year, does that come down to all the behind-the-scenes stuff that was going on, or
did he have? He had some injuries too, though, didn't he?
He did have a couple. The bug got him a couple times last year, I think. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
But
no.
He's only 30.
He's only 30. Yeah. No, I think he's got a few years in him that he can still go ahead and
still get
a little production, but I don't think he's top tier anymore, to be honest.
No, there was a time where he was the best tight end in the game.
Yeah, and then
It was
Travis
the year,
Kelce got drafted.
the year that Philly won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
At
Well,
that, like that like 2 to 3 year span, he was the best tight end in the game.
Yeah. But then, like I said, Kelsey emerged, Kittle emerged, and
Yeah.
after that,
Kittle came out of nowhere.
he did. But I like Kittle a lot.
I
Like, he is
love
one of my
George
favorite
Kittle,
players.
man. He's one of my favorite players in the league. He's
Mhm.
definitely one of my top 5 favorite players in the league.
I just
For
like
sure.
him. I just like it. It's always funny. Like, he references shit that I watch and shit, that I like. Don't make me drive back to Gwanda. I know my boys. Never abandoned them. Never really understood Bills fans' hatred towards the Cowboys. I mean, it wasn't the Cowboys beat them. It's Super Bowls beat themselves. But I have to actually click see more. Wow. Okay, partying too much. It was notorious reputation they had not prepping for games. No, I understand that, and that's not even why I hate the Cowboys. I hate the Cowboys because my dad and I used to root for a team every year, and he was always the Cowboys or the Steelers, and I was always only the Bills. So I always hated them, like, since I was, like, 6 years old. So that's my – I don't know about anybody else, but you might be a little bit accurate on your statement, Elijah. Because honestly, I know that's why a lot of Bills fans are salty. I agree with that, guaranteed. But that's not my reasoning. Although it doesn't help.
I don't dislike I don't dislike lifelong Cowboys fans.
No, I don't dislike the fans. It's the team.
Well, the fans are the reason for my dislike of the Cowboys, but it's not the lifelong old school. Anybody that's a fan of the Cowboys that was born after 1995 just shouldn't. Just pick a new team because you're basing your fandom of a team off of everything you've heard from people older than you.
At this point, it's all fairy tales, guys.
Right.
This is all urban legend, like
much like the
Super Bowl. What's that?
Much like the new.
Don't get me wrong, we haven't won one yet, but I understand. Trust me.
Much like the Patriots. There's a video of like an 11-year-old kid online screaming about how bad the Bills suck and how the Patriots were going to own them. And what week was it? Week 15 they played or whatever.
Yeah.
And everybody's just like, well, of course this kid's cocky because all he's known his entire life is winning.
Yeah, literally.
Can we all just agree that Philly fans are the
worst? Philly fans.
Actually,
okay.
no. You want my honest opinion? The worst fan base in the league? Seattle Seahawks fans.
You know what? for the most part, yeah. I know a couple, and they're actually decent people. But I guarantee you, once the TV's on and the game's on, they are fucking just the worst. Like, I have a foul mouth, and I'm like, damn, you said that? Holy shit! Like when we played them, oh, like this one kid, he's running his mouth so bad. I'm like, dude, we're gonna fucking spank you this year.
That stadium was never full. Never full.
No, it wasn't full until 2012.
Until Beastquake.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then once they won a Super Bowl, all of a sudden, the Seattle Seahawks had the #1 jersey sales in the league when they won the Super Bowl. When forever it was the Dallas Cowboys.
How many fan bases do you know that throw batteries at Santa Claus? You're telling me Philly did that? Fucking Philly did that. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. When I was younger, just because I hated the Cowboys, I used to like Philly. Okay, I love Donovan McNabb. I fucking loved Shady before he came.
T.O.
I liked T.O. before he came here as well. So, I love Shady when he was here. I'm not gonna lie. But Philly fans did that? Batteries at Santa Claus? Oh, okay. Where's Ryan? My buddy Ryan is a hardcore Philly fan. Let's see if I can tag him.
He was probably the one throwing the batteries.
No, that's what I'm saying. But he's the nicest kid. He's a fucking pharmacy tech. I don't have him on this profile, of course.
This is good. This is a good segue into. Oh, we've already been talking about Philly. That's right.
Yeah, no, exactly. We were already talking about that. But yeah,
But
no, batteries at Santa Claus. Philly, get your shit together, please.
but now moving on, Carson Wentz is gone.
Bye.
He's
Indy.
going. He went to Indy,
Yeah,
reunited with Frank Reich, which I believe is.
is the
I
best
think that's
thing
going
for
to
him.
be great for Carson Wentz.
Mm-hmm. I can see it. I
I
think that's the
think
best thing for him, to be honest. I think that it could rejuvenate. He
I
was
think
gun shy after he got hurt. It was another
Yeah.
situation where he was afraid back there, so he wanted to
Yeah.
get out of the pocket too early. He wanted to fucking make plays that he's not.
Well,
ready to
because
make.
then after he got hurt the year they went on to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's got to drop
So
your confidence real quick.
and I've never liked Doug Peterson.
I wasn't really a big fan, honestly. There's nothing
And
like too
he
special
just
about him.
seems like the kind of guy to me that was just like, well, I won us that Super Bowl, so I don't need Carson Wentz. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I feel like that had a lot to do with what happened to Carson Wentz and Philly with his what's the word I'm
Wentz in
looking
Indy
for?
is scary. Elijah says, "Yeah,
Yeah,
no, because that game that we had, the game that the Bills had last year, could be a whole different story if Wentz was in there."
yeah.
Absolutely.
But we'll see how Jalen Hurts does as the full-time starter because
Yeah, I mean, we don't really have a choice, and I'm kind of interested to see it.
I'm kind of interested to see it.
I'm
Alabama
not, like, I
quarterbacks.
don't hate to see it at all. I just hope.
This was everybody's knock on Mac Jones. Alabama quarterbacks do not have the best track record in the NFL.
Right. You want to know why that is? I think
Jury's still out on Tua.
I am not at all. That's another team I dislike. It's Alabama. I think everybody who screams "Roll Tide" is probably fucking their cousin, to be honest. But no, so I don't hate Alabama completely. It all started back. It was like a big rivalry between Ohio State and Alabama there for a little while, and that's just what ruined them for me.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, Alabama quarterbacks coming to the NFL. My big thing about them and their issue is they have always recruited so well out of high school that they have so many skilled players, so many good running backs, so many good receivers, and offensive line. The quarterback does not need to do as much. So
That's
this all-time awesome quarterback who's so good, blah blah blah, doesn't translate because of the fact that he had everything around him. He was babied the whole time. That's my thing about Alabama quarterback.
That's the thing. Well, that's the whole thing with Alabama too. Is everyone says, "Oh, Nick Saban could go down as the greatest coach in college football history." Is he really the greatest coach, or is he really just the best recruiter?
I mean, at a college level, the coach is the recruiter. So I mean, realistically,
Right.
isn't it kind of both? So yeah, I would bet
Because
Saban have that.
because
Yeah.
remember his time in Miami as the head coach?
Yeah.
I mean, other coaches have come from college to the NFL and failed, but he failed miserably in the NFL when he didn't have 5-star recruits backing up 5-star recruits.
Exactly. I know, it's so insane every year. I think that's another reason why I don't like him too. Is like in the Patriots situation was every single year. Like who do you really have a choice? It's almost like I'm not saying college is unfair, but it almost kind of is. Like,
I mean, you watch
the
Alabama.
teams with the most money and the teams that can bring you in, to get you on TV and get you famous first, are gonna get the big recruits.
If you really watch Alabama, they run such a basic defense.
Yeah.
And
No, I completely agree. There's been days
such a basic offense. It's just because they have the best players on the field.
Absolutely.
And collectively the best players on the field.
I completely agree. It's all a recruit thing. It's all recruiting.
Yeah.
Like you have, 10 5-star recruits on offense alone. That one guy, that quarterback isn't gonna fucking matter,
Right.
Like you could run Mark Sanchez out there and just be set.
Jalen Hurts, another guy, he showed flashes last year when he finally got the chance.
in all fairness, and build that team in Miami like he has wherever he's been in college. That makes
That's
sense.
true,
Yeah.
but he doesn't have
But
a
he shouldn't have
salary
failed
cap to
that
work
bad.
with in college.
You know,
Yeah.
he was that good of a football coach. He would not have failed that bad.
No, he was
I think
gone in
it's
what,
both.
a year and a half?
Yeah, he didn't last.
He-
No, I think it's both for sure. I think definitely,
Right.
yeah, he couldn't build his team. He can't just like pick some random high schooler out of like bumfuck Egypt that's the fastest kid in the whole town, you know?
Or fly across the country, over the Pacific a little bit, drop down in Hawaii, pick up Tua,
Yeah,
and be like, you're going to come play football in Alabama.
right. Yeah, he can't just do that to like, you know, anyone at all.
Right.
It's like a tampering or poaching or something, isn't it? Like,
So, and then Devontae Smith, I mean, he's obviously going to be their number one receiver.
I think that is a home fucking run.
So, and him and Hurts, I mean, they kind of know each other. They played together a little bit before Hurts transferred to Oklahoma.
Right.
So, we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting.
I wouldn't mind him coming to the Bills and it's like mentoring and maybe hopefully getting back to that that 2-3 year period where or even close to it where he was fucking just dominant tight end, you know.
Yeah, Hurts.
I wouldn't hate that at all.
Yeah. No.
So with that said, I think that's our AFC East segment or segue.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, not sorry about the Cowboys and everything I have said about them. So we'll move on. I'm sorry for hurting feelings.
Because now you get to hear us shit on the Patriots.
I'm gonna shit on the Bills too if they do something bad. Don't worry. I am.
But,
So
so how do you think this division shakes out?
Oh, okay. So my thinking is Patriots got what 8, 9 players at least back from COVID from last year.
Yeah.
We have one back from COVID. Granted, that one back from COVID star is a big reason why our run defense wasn't as good as it was the last 2 years. So what I'm thinking is we'll go from worst to best like we were. And does this even need to be said? The worst is the Jets, right? The worst is the Jets.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so we got Jets at 4th. It could go either way, to be honest, Patriots or Miami. With the way Miami is actually upgraded, and I'm not saying that just like yeah, they got better in the draft. No, they actually got better in the draft, like significantly. You know,
right?
They're the team I'm most worried about. Patriots 3rd, Dolphins 2nd, Bills are taking it again. 14-3. We're gonna add to our record last year only by default because we have an extra game. That's my thinking of it. So Jets, Patriots, Dolphins, Bills. And I am biased, but being real and actually looking at the teams, and the Patriots do enough. Is Mac Jones going to take over from Cam? Is he going to do enough? You know, like how can you beat Tom Brady if you can't learn from Tom Brady? It's an Alabama quarterback thing all over again, like you said. 2 Alabama quarterbacks in the division. Come on.
I flipped Miami and New England.
Yeah, you think they're going to come back strong after one really disappointing year? I think Belichick's like off anger mode.
Miami drafted well. The Jets are the Jets.
The Jets are going to yeah.
I got Miami 3rd. They did improve significantly, but I think the reason they fall to 3rd is just not because they're going to be bad. I think I got the Bills winning the division at 14-3, just like you. Okay. I got New England at 10-7.
I could see it.
I got Miami. I got Miami at 10-7.
Okay, but you got a tiebreaker.
Miami loses out on tiebreakers.
Okay. Excuse me.
New England spent a lot of money. in
Okay,
free agency.
let's be real with that right now. The tight end situation is a whole different story. I don't remember exactly what year, but when they had Gronk and Hernandez, they're trying to replicate that, I think.
I think that's what they're trying to replicate. And Cam Newton played his best football when he had an elite tight end.
Bingo. Yep.
He had Greg Olsen.
Greg Olsen. And let me just say, the last year, because I didn't play fantasy last year, but the year before that, Greg Olsen was probably one of my top, like, production-wise players. Like,
he's overall. He might go down as probably one of the most underrated players of all time.
He was so solid. He was always there. He was always reliable.
Consistent. He was
until he got hurt.
super consistent. So Cam Newton has always played his best when he's had reliable tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Judon, who they signed over from Baltimore, is a fucking animal.
Yeah, no, I completely forgot they paid
Kyle Van Noy, who knows the defensive system after spending a year down in Miami, it was just like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah.
Goes back to New England. And he's been known to be a problem for the Bills.
The linebackers are definitely a problem, I think, for the reason that a lot of quarterbacks don't catch them in the middle. You know, they're spying them and hiding like a little closer to the line. So when they go to fucking, jump off in the middle there, they're just boop and they're right there. You know what I mean?
It's really easy to talk about the AFC East without notes because we know the AFC
because
East.
we live it. Yeah, I have no notes on the AFC East.
But
winging it.
Think about New England, and you brought it up. The ace up the sleeve for the Patriots, so to speak, is all those players coming back from COVID.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
COVID opt-outs.
Right.
That is, I still think offense.
It's like 8-11.
They're going to be a very defensive team. They are going to win a lot of games with defense.
Yeah, and that's what they've done the whole time.
Offense
through the last 20 years of Brady. I mean,
Brady
had the most, like the highest rated defense in the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
For the first time, I mean, we saw it last year, but for the first time in 20 years, even with their defense feeling like their defense is going to be better this year compared to last year, because their defense was still pretty good last year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm not. You're not wrong.
Offense is still going to be their Achilles heel, but it got proven last year that without Tom Brady able to will them to a victory, if they're playing from behind, they just start to crumble.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, that's Tom Brady. Like, that's just his accuracy, all day long. He can put it where he wants to. Like, and he's going to, unless you don't let him. Get up in his face, get up that pressure up in the middle. I think Mac Jones is going to have a similar effect. He's a little more athletic than Brady. You can't tell by looking at him.
Not too much. He's still.
You can't tell by looking at him, but he can move a little bit, but not.
He just doesn't like to.
Yeah, exactly. No, he'll get stuck in. Yeah.
He's got the Brady mentality where that ball's coming out.
Elijah, I completely agree. Completely agree.
Oh, for sure.
Why else would he get picked 15th and not 199th?
199, exactly.
Yeah, I mean that's a given. I completely agree there. Mac though, I think is going to have the benefit of sitting behind Cam in training camp. I think maybe they're going to shit on Cam within the first 3 weeks of the regular season though. I think he's going to do something like he did last year and just shit the bed out of nowhere, and then
if it's going bad, pull Cam out, throw back in.
Yeah, and then just a little bit more success is all you need, just like Brady.
Only eventually Mac's going to start.
Oh yeah.
Which last year Jared Stidham never got to start.
Yeah, he never had a chance. Let's be honest. Stidham was just a body. He's just a camp body. I believe that anyway. I believe that the last couple of years.
But I'm trying to save the Bills for last.
No, yeah, that's why I haven't been talking about them. I know.
So
Dolphins. Let's stick with Dolphins. I want to talk about.
Oh, I was going to go to the Jets.
Well, I'm going to jet on over to the Dolphins because
let's jet on down to Miami.
About the Jets last, just for the fact that they suck. Max scares me as a future. The Pats offensive signature.
Couple years.
Yeah, I don't know if he scares me, but I mean, we got big boy Josh on our side, so I'm not really scared of nothing when he's on the field, to be honest. And that's just because he puts that out there. Josh puts that feeling of you trust me out there. I'm gonna bring it right back to that Cowboys game when they fumbled at the line of scrimmage, pulls it out. It's like a fourth down, and like 2. Pulls it out and like jumps over the pile and like wrestles the dude for the first down. Like
picks up 6
you
yards.
have that on offense. I ain't worried about fucking Mac Jones. Like no, I'm not shitting on the kid at all. Like I don't think anything bad about it. But I mean, yeah, probably should have seen the meme where they switched Trevor Lawrence and Mac Jones's hair, and like Mac Jones ends up looking like some girl I went to school with that played soccer. Like
Mac Jones looked like Trevor Lawrence's girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah. But
yeah, let's jet on down to Miami.
Yeah, exactly. Tua doesn't have Fitzpatrick to learn from anymore. Doesn't have somebody that he got pulled out in the middle of like 3 games, right? 3 different games he got pulled out in the middle for Fitz. Do you think he's grown enough to really take Miami to the promised land, or is that going to be the downfall? And is that why you have them switched in the rankings?
No, the reason I have them switched is because I think I honestly just think they just lose a bunch of close games. Really, I think they're in a lot of games.
So it's a Philly all over again, huh?
It's a better Philly situation, yeah.
Yeah, there's more upside in Miami.
I see Miami losing a lot of close games. They gave Kansas City a run for their money last year. The first game against the Bills, they gave the Bills a run for their money.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the last game, though, what happened? We discussed that last time too. They just got fucking rocked,
Yeah, so but the Bills at that point were the hottest team in the league.
Oh yeah, easily. I think Tua, in my opinion, he's going to progress from last year. He's learned, obviously. There's going to be things he learned about the NFL, the speed of it, he's going to be forced to learn. He doesn't, like I said, he does not have a learn behind. But he did. He did, though, and that's the point. And maybe why he could take some of what he learned from Fitz to heart, and put it to work. I think he's going to have an okay year, I think he could throw for like 35 and I think 20 touchdowns and like 10 interceptions or something.
I mean, he's got reliable weapons with him.
Yeah, plus they just drafted
Devontae Parker is not a bad wide receiver.
Oh, absolutely not. No. I mean, Jarvis Landry was no joke. I don't know why they got rid of him, but I don't know why they got rid of him.
And they just drafted his college teammate.
Yep.
Jalen Waddle.
See that one? That's
Albert Wilson he's not terrible. He's serviceable.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the tight end Gesicki is a fucking killer when he plays the Bills for some reason.
Usually, honestly,
he's
easily a top 10 tight end.
You look at his stats against the Bills; it's disgusting.
No, it's like leaps and bounds compared to any other team.
Yeah.
Besides maybe the Jets, because he runs over the Jets too. But then again, don't everybody.
But the first game of the season, which is the big game he had against the Bills, I believe that was the game Milano got hurt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then they're throwing over the middle all day long.
Yeah. And that's
they're not doing a damn thing.
That's where Milano makes his bread and butter, is covering those tight ends.
Yeah, no, that's it seems to be a big thing of Miami the last couple of years too, is the tight end. I mean, they really put him in that position. Like if you're not successful, it's probably your fault at this point.
That's why, if you remember when I did my mock draft, I had the Falcons taking a quarterback and then Miami taking Kyle Pitts right after them. Yeah. I think Gesicki and Pitts, I think if he was there, I think Dolphins obviously would have taken him. Just to have Gesicki and Pitts on the field at the same time would have been so good for Tua.
It really would have, especially to get those checkdowns. It's not just just a running back. It could be a big boy in the middle that can just run somebody over.
Right.
I think, like I said, there's another. I don't like Alabama. I don't like my divisional rivals. I'm trying to be unbiased here, and I don't want them to succeed. Like, no offense, it's my divisional rival.
I'm just trying.
I think Tua has the tools right now and the weapons that he really has no choice but to step up this year, or they're going to be back drafting their quarterback again.
Yeah, he could be the resurgence of the left-handed quarterback.
Mm-hmm. I mean, who was the last great one? Mark Brunell, Michael Vick, Steve Young.
Steve Young was the last great one.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, who was the last great one?
Vic was the last standout one.
Don't give me no shit about Mark Brunell, though.
Oh, no, Mark Brunell was amazing.
I think he was underrated, to be honest.
Oh, super underrated. I mean, he's by no means a Hall of Famer, in my opinion.
No.
But he was, I mean, his highlight reel is fun.
No, it is. Yeah, I always like
watch, man.
I actually didn't hate him on
Steve.
I don't know, like NFL Today or something. He was good.
Steve Young was the last great lefty. Michael Vick was the last standout superstar lefty, but that was only because he was
quarterback status.
A great athlete because that just happened to be left-handed.
Pretty much. But let's be honest, Vic was a monster. Like, you ever played Madden 2004, you did not pick the Falcons.
He's a cheat code. He's a cheat code in that game for sure.
He was. 2004 was the worst. You got Michael Vick, and you're like, hey, that's basically when I became not a Falcons fan. If I root for anybody in the fucking NFC South, it's probably the Falcons.
Yeah. See, I like the Falcons before Michael Vick. Chris Chandler, Jamal Anderson, Deion Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Go back.
Well, I mean, Deion Sanders.
When Michael Vick showed up, that's when I was just like, man, I fucking love this team.
Right. See, that's that was the year. That's the first time I almost was a bandwagon fan. I'm like, yo, Michael Vick is a monster. And I'm watching 2004. I'm like what, 16. So I'm like,
see, he was drafted in 2001. He was drafted in 2001.
No, I know. I'm just saying, when I actually really started liking them, after like I said, after playing Madden with him.
Yeah, see, I started out I mean, like I said, I've liked him. I watched him get stomped by the Broncos in the Super Bowl. I wanted them to win the Super Bowl. That's when I started liking them, is because my mom was just like, I fucking hate when teams win the Super Bowl 2 years in a row. And I was like, all right, yeah, we're rooting for the Falcons then. And, I was a kid at the time.
See, I was the opposite.
That's when I started liking them. And then Michael Vick showed up, and I became a bandwagon fan and just never really left,
Yeah, no. After a certain – I got a theory, though, after a certain point in time, bandwagon no longer matters. You are a fan,
Yeah.
You get 5 years, I'll say.
Yeah.
If your team wins the Super Bowl and within 2 or 3 years, I'll give it 3 years. Within 2 or 3 years, you're like, oh, I'm a huge fan of this team that all these Bucs fans that are around now.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that's what they call a bandwagon. Any Chiefs fans right now. God. How many people I've seen in other sports?
I respect old school Chiefs fans.
I used to love,
and these old school Chiefs fans need to start slapping around these kids that didn't show up until Patrick Mahomes showed up. Because you talk to some of these, you read the comments online and shit. You talk to some of these, you argue with some of these idiot kids, and they'll be like, "Oh, Patrick Mahomes, he saved the franchise." The Chiefs
what was happening before him?
The Chiefs were a perennial playoff team before Patrick Mahomes got there. They had to trade up from the 27th pick to draft him. Like, get out of here. You don't even know what you're talking about.
Absolute fucking nonsense from Chiefs fans.
And at the same time, I like, this is getting off topic, but I like Patrick Mahomes. But I honestly feel like with those weapons, you could throw any quarterback on that team and they will succeed.
Yeah, is this like what we used to say about the Patriots all those years? You can throw anybody in that situation and they'll succeed, but yet you see what happened and you see Tom Brady has another ring with a different team and you're like, maybe that wasn't the case. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest, Patrick Mahomes, like, yeah, he's fucking awesome. And yeah, their team is fucking complete, like top to bottom, except maybe their offensive line and some of their defense. But, I mean, can you really put anybody in as Patrick Mahomes and have him do what he did? Can you really?
I mean, I feel like if Patrick Mahomes went anywhere but Kansas City, I mean, Buffalo was in that spot. If he would have come to Buffalo, I feel like
maybe we could have had that Super Bowl, or
no.
No, is that what you? Okay, I thought that's where you were going. I was like, wait.
I feel like
we had a lot more issues than quarterback.
I feel like Mahomes' career at this. All right, for the sake of argument, let's swap Mahomes and Josh Allen.
Okay.
Do you think Josh? I think Allen's got the ring.
I agree. No, I agree.
And that's what I would say. And I think Patrick Mahomes is right where Josh Allen is now, looking up at Patrick Mahomes saying, I'm going to get fucking past you somehow.
Yeah. And it's only like, at this point, it's not even like, it's a forced rivalry. Like, all these media outlets are like, oh, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, throwing contest,
because
this or that.
Media, blah, blah, blah. Because the media is dying for that new Brady Manning. That's what it is.
It's content. And honestly, since we started this whole thing here a couple weeks ago, like, aren't we kind of hoping for that too? So we got more to talk about with that too.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
Content is content. You know what I mean? Like, we get more content out of, some bogus ass rivalry that the two of them don't even see as a rivalry. Like,
no.
Because they've both said it. Like, they're like, I'm not in competition with him, like, until we play each other.
Right.
And then when we played, they played each other.
They both said that they enjoy watching the other. Yeah, they both said they enjoy watching the other one play.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're very similar. They're very similar.
They're just, their stature is different, so their play style differs a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, Josh is more of a bruiser. Like, he can run you over compared to Mahomes trying to get away from you.
Here's my one thing I don't like about Patrick Mahomes. It has nothing to do with his personality or his ability.
You hate the State Farm commercials?
No. I hate the State Farm commercials anyway.
Exactly.
But have you ever seen him walking back onto the field after, like, a timeout? He walks like there's something, like he's...
Oh, no, when he does this thing, he's like, he's got a poop or something?
Yeah, he walks like he's got a poop, man. Or something like... It's fucking...
It's not even... I'm not even going to joke. Like, the one day I'm, like, walking, I'm like, either he's in heels or he's going to take a shit. Like, Patrick Mahomes is either in heels or has to take a shit. Like, maybe take a bit off the back of them cleats, you know what I mean? No, I've totally noticed that because my wife and I were watching the one night, and she's like, why does he walk like that? And I'm like, no, I don't know. Maybe he's got a poop.
me and my one buddy, like, we talk all through Bills games and shit. Like, we're always texting each other. And AFC
I'm sure I'll be on that list this year.
And he's just like, I fucking hate how Patrick Mahomes walks like he's got a stick up his ass.
And it's like literally like, like your Andy Reid's puppet so bad that he's got his arm up in there when you're not on the sidelines.
Like, oh my god, man. Like, that's the only thing I don't like about watching him is just watching him just like scoot his way back out of the field.
He like waddles. He reminds me of like I'm not trying to get like too in depth here, but like pregnant women. I call it a turbo waddle. I call it a turbo waddle because like they're trying to walk fast to like get to the bathroom, but they're like, oh no, like penguin style, you know what I mean? Like they only move their hips but not their like shoulders.
This is some real fucking quality content here.
Oh, we suck, but I love it.
Anyway,
For real though.
Speaking about Josh
So
Allen,
Patrick Mahomes turbo waddles, and we're back to the Jets. Go ahead. Go ahead on the Jets if you can.
Zach Wilson is. We'll see. We'll see.
He's one of those.
He's got no receivers.
Wow.
Denzel Mims.
Sam Darnold.
Denzel Mims is probably the most overrated player in the league last year. Overrated rookie. Everyone's like, oh, when he finally gets on the field, what's he going to do?
Who was that?
Nothing. Denzel Mims.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone was so hyped to see him finally get on the field because he got hurt in training camp or whatever. And he gets on the field and he's just like,
shit's the
best. What?
Yeah.
Nothing?
Like, am I in the position that you're wasting?
They're going to get scorched on defense. They're not going to score points. The Jets
they are going to get scorched on defense every year since they gave up fucking, what was it, Leonard Williams?
Yeah.
Right? Since they gave him up, and Sheldon Richardson, since they were both gone. What do you expect? Of course your line is shit. Like, you're going to get torched no matter what, all the time.
They got no receivers. They got no tight end. Their offensive line is
the last person they had was Robbie Anderson, where he's fucking back with Sam Darnold in Carolina.
Yeah. And I mean, those two are pretty good together. We'll get to that.
I'm not gonna lie, they had good chemistry. Yeah.
When we do the NFC South,
anymore. Fuck it.
When we do the NFC South, that'll be a fun comp. Yeah, the Jets are a dumpster fire. It's an inspection of dumpster fires with the Jets. It's a dumpster fire within a dumpster fire.
The Bills were like 4 dumpster fires within each other. Like the Jets, like for longer, are at least 6.
The Jets are the new Browns, man. I hate to say it.
Oh my god, they're terrible.
The Jets are
terrible, and they started doing it at the same time. Like they were, one was 0-16, and the other one was 1-15. Like 1-2 right there. But the Jets have consistently stayed at that, and ever since Baker Mayfield, came over, Odell Beckham, all these top draft picks, the Browns have actually done something. Like they were like this close from taking out the Chiefs last year. You know what I mean? And let's be honest, like they are definitely the new
pure luck, though. That was pure luck. The Browns almost beat the Chiefs. That was just pure the luck of fools.
You don't see the Jets in that position, though.
No,
and that's what I'm saying. Like, they're not gonna. They're gonna be top 3 pick again this year.
I like their new head coach. I liked him as a defensive coordinator in San Francisco.
Okay, so speaking of which, new head coach. This made me laugh earlier. I saw this. And
I saw it where he was just like, "Oh, that's me."
He's like, "Yeah, no." So he's going, and he's, I'm going to get my position after practice behind the head coach to observe. And I'm like, "Oh shoot, that's me, the head coach." Jets are gonna jet. Like,
Jets are gonna jet. Jets are gonna jet.
Like,
they're gonna jet.
That's me. Wait, so what are you gonna like? You go throw in your quarterback. You throw in Zach Wilson, and you're like, wait, we need a quarterback. Like, coach, that's me. Oh yeah. Okay, get in there. Yeah. You got
Joe Flacco's backing up Zach Wilson too.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. He's gonna throw one in over the other when he forgets who should be in there or something.
It's
like that shit just made me laugh so hard.
It's gonna be bad. They're gonna jet their way to the number 1 overall. Jets might have they might be the worst team in the league. They might have the number 1 pick.
Well, we'll see what Jacksonville does, and we'll see what the Texans do. But I see the Texans getting worse.
Jacksonville is head and shoulders better than they were last year already.
Well, yeah, they are. But is that gonna translate? That's the whole thing. We don't know. Wow, the new Browns. Yeah, exactly. Definitely the new Browns. Absolutely.
But I'm done with the Jets.
Isn't everybody?
There's not much to say about them. Their uniforms. Their uniforms are cool.
That leads us, I guess, to the hometown team. And, I mean, if Dennis were here, he'd probably have a little something else to say. It was a little more unbiased. But I'm gonna say we're going to fuck the Super Bowl. All right, I'm just gonna let it down right now. We're going to the Super Bowl. Okay, sorry, not sorry.
Dropping the mic on that.
I'll fucking drop the mic. Anyway, no. But in reality, yeah, 14-3. I see us winning the division. It's so weird. I had to like count again. I'm like, what? What? 14 and what? Three? Okay, yeah, sure. Weird ass fucking NFL execs. Okay, but okay, yeah. 14-3. We're gonna win the division. It's only gonna be by a couple games. It's gonna be kind of the same situation as last year. I think we'll take out our divisional opponents, as we always have them the last 3 games. We always have 2 of them the last 3 games for some reason. I think we're gonna do what we did last year and just take it home.
Smoking.
We're going into the playoffs hot. You know, like every team, the first few games, like we were hot the first 4 games, lost a couple, and then we fucking.
Well, because that's when the mess that was the Titans with their COVID outbreak came into play, and the Bills' schedule got jerked around.
I'm not using that as an excuse ever.
I'm not using it as an excuse, but at the same time, there was a point during all that time where they were preparing for 2 teams at the same time and had no idea which one they were going to play. Not that that's an excuse.
No, but that is difficult. Yeah,
that fucks with your head. Like their whole weekly regimen got fucked up. Meanwhile, the Titans got a fucking 2-week vacation and a slap on the wrist as a punishment.
Yeah, and what, like Pittsburgh got a week off there too, or something too, and that.
Yeah.
So it's Pittsburgh Titans.
The Bills had to play. The Bills played 3 games.
3 games in like, what was it, 12 days or some shit?
Yeah, something like that.
It wasn't, because we had a Thursday night game, a Monday night game, and a Saturday or a Sunday game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It was just all fucked up.
Yeah, no. I'm not going to use that as an excuse.
Again, not an excuse. They are professionals.
We lost 2 of those games, whatever. It happened.
Yeah. Adapt and overcome and all that.
Yeah, until we got back to the team that beat us in one of those games. But, yeah. You'll have that. Like, let's be real, Josh did not have his best game that day either.
Josh did not play great in the AFC title game, but as we just recently found out, Stephon Diggs, as everybody thought, was playing with a torn oblique in that game.
Yep. Not to mention Beasley with a broken leg.
Beasley had a broken Cole Beasley.
Yeah.
Had a fucking broken femur.
Dude.
I mean, even though the Chiefs for the most part in the AFC game beat the brakes off of the Bills still showed a ton of heart right down until like the last 5 minutes where they were just like, fuck it, we're losing this game. Let's see if we can start a brawl.
Yeah. And that was, I agree, that was totally on us too. Like,
yeah, they all just
you get so emotional when you're finally that close.
They all just lost their cool. I mean,
yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, there was some grimy shit going on in that game, and I'm not being the whole.
It was on both sides. It really was.
None of that shit. The defensive line, I forgot which one of them it was. Defensive lineman for the Chiefs just straight up punching John Feliciano right in the face, directly in front of the referee.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No, yeah.
Breland, the DB for the Chiefs, German suplexing fucking Diggs way after the fucking whistle.
Oh my god, yeah. I forgot about that too. Holy shit, just reminded me.
And then everything that led to the melee, Josh Allen throwing the ball at
that little doink in his face. Yeah. That was fun. I'm not gonna lie.
That was funny. He didn't need to do that, but at the same time, that was well after the whistle.
That reminds me of like earlier in the year against the Rams, when we scored the 1 touchdown. It was a go-ahead touchdown.
Yeah.
Josh ran it in and he spun the ball in the guy's face, and the ref flags him right. He's standing right there, but like he's just like pumped, like fuck this, And it reminded me of the referee shortly after that in that game going up to McDermott. He's like, I had to penalize him, and you saw what happened. He's like, well, damn, I love that kid. He plays like a mother, like he's like, he's got heart or he's got moxie or whatever he said. And he's yeah, but he's gonna no. He's like, he's a good kid.
Josh showed just grew leaps and bounds last year. And we said it last week.
Both
we
years.
Said, last year he just blew the doors off. And just like,
the league wasn't ready.
No, they weren't
honestly,
ready.
If Aaron Rodgers didn't exist, there was an MVP.
You can even see it, like, even Jalen Ramsey, Jalen Ramsey is probably one of my favorite players in the league, even though he talks a ton of shit. But the guy
talks so much, that's why I don't like him.
That's why I don't like him, but he is really good at what he does.
he is until he goes up against Josh Allen.
Remember he talked all that shit about Josh Allen when Allen got drafted, saying he was trash and everything else. After the Bills beat the Rams this year, even Ramsey was just like, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Like,
which is surprising because you don't hear him go back on what he said.
He earned respect across the board. Analysts, media people that were all just down on him all the time. We're just like, this guy is fucking great.
He was. He really was. Yeah. And I'm not saying he's not still, but I
I don't think he's hit his peak yet.
No. Yeah. He had, to be honest, last year he had a little bit of a down year for him, but that down year was still better than 95% of quarterbacks out there. So
right,
it's like, what are you gonna do at that point?
Yeah,
like keep running your mouth. I'm not gonna like you, but you're still really good.
Yeah. But Allen, man,
back to Buffalo though. The Greg Rousseau pick.
Huge. Rousseau's not gonna be a huge impact right away.
No. But
he's got
a huge motherfucker. He is a big boy.
God, the Bills drafted the biggest motherfuckers in the draft.
No, their whole defense.
If you were drafting players in
6'5" and above.
If you were drafting players in 1957, like, not that there were guys that big in 1950, but back in, like, it was just like big. We want big, like.
They were all in Norway still.
Pittsburgh in the 70s, those were the type of guys they were drafting. Like,
they just want to push people around this year. They aren't messing around.
But the thing is now, you need guys that are big like that, but they need to be athletic.
You gotta have some speed. And that's where Rousseau comes in.
Rousseau has all of that.
Every time he sacks somebody, we're like, Rousseau, shit. Or like Boogie Basham, was actually technically rated higher than him, though.
Oh yeah, I don't know how.
We got decent players. I
don't know how he fell in the second round.
I don't know either, honestly. We got from our edge rushing to our offensive line, we have not just the biggest, but they are actual badass athletes from everything I've seen. They're running good 40s, they're moving good on the cone drills. Are you sucking a ghost stick over there? Or are you just tired?
Yeah.
Anyway.
But
yeah, no, I think
Rousseau and Basham,
they're not just big, they're fast.
No. Yeah. The pass rush is what is gonna have the biggest microscope on it for the Bills this season.
It is. And I'm hoping that these boys learn from Jerry, and his technique is great. He's just getting old,
Yeah. Yeah, and that was the Bills' downfall, was lack of pass rush last year.
Yeah,
that's what killed.
Like I said, Star coming back. That's going to free up a couple spaces.
That's your run blocker or your run stopper.
Yeah, he's still going to eat up one or two people every pass rush play.
Ed Oliver showed.
I'm hoping he comes into what he should be, though.
He showed a lot of improvement last year, I thought.
Yeah, no, exactly. Coming in, not knowing our scheme, and, the playbook and all that. By the time game 8 or 10 came around, he was regularly moving people around, getting around him.
Yeah.
But he's one of those guys. He's the smaller, fast guy. He's not like Rousseau, who's like, hey, I'm just a tree in front of you.
Yeah. I mean, if Rousseau is going to be great too for like even on plays where he can't get to the quarterback, because the other thing was DN would put his arm up to try to knock the pass down at the line of scrimmage, but
they go right over him,
dipped right over his hand, because they were.
Rousseau, especially the one play that I saw from college specifically, he only dropped back like 2 steps like from the line, and this quarterback just rifles it like it should have went right over him, and he's just like, no, that's mine. Like I am way too big for you to be doing that.
Yeah.
So that is huge. Like him and Evan, like back in coverage like that. Like they're 2 big, tall boys, 2 tall, long boys. Like they're gonna get that ball.
Like I was saying last week, if they can develop, this isn't something that's going to happen this year. Maybe if injuries happen or whatnot, but Rousseau, Basham, Epineza, and Oliver on the field at the same time.
Yeah, no, that
is a fucking scary possibility.
And like I said, it's bigger than it looks, but Star coming back is going to free up one more person to where, like you got Rousseau fucking dropping back as like a linebacker in coverage. Like, take that, those couple steps back like a spy and then just rushing right in. Like, what are you going to do? You got this big ass motherfucker coming back and you got this hole that you didn't have there last year.
Right.
Like I think Rousseau gets more sacks than we think. Just for that reason.
Yeah,
like
just
when
based
he's in there finally. Because I mean, you're not gonna play Jerry like full on like how you have been the last 3-4 years. You're not gonna play him like that.
No.
You're not gonna play Addison like that. You're not gonna do that.
I think of the 3 like pass rushers the Bills have brought in the past couple of years, and that's Rousseau, Basham, and Epinesa. Rousseau's the most ready right now, I think.
Yeah.
And he's still got a long way to go. He's still very raw, but he's the most ready. Jerry is probably going to be handed the task of Basham and Epinesa, mentor these 2 guys, show them everything they know, and these 2 guys are going to fight it out for the guy that's for the job of coming off the other side of Rousseau.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the Bills like to play that rotational line. So it's hard to predict what they're going to do, personally.
See, that's what I was thinking about earlier. Like
I just don't like that, though. That's the one knock on the Bills' defense I have is I just don't – I understand it keeps guys fresh, but –
I don't hate it. I don't hate it because, like, those years that we had, like, Mario Williams, you go into the 4th quarter and, like, he's not getting the pressure he should anymore because he's fucking tired at this point.
Because he's gassed.
Like, Mario Williams was a monster.
But those were the days when they didn't have an offense that could possess the ball.
True. But, I mean, even us, it's a little more explosive. Like, we'll hit you for a 50-yard pass. We can do that now. Yeah. We can actually do that now. We can hit you for a 7-yard pass. Like, we can hit you with that shit.
But at the same time,
that doesn't take as much time off of the clock.
It doesn't allow anybody on the defensive line to really get into a rhythm, though.
I know, but that goes for, like I said, it goes for you either not being able to sustain drives or scoring too quickly. It's almost the same thing.
Yeah.
Like if you can get those methodical drives every time and give your defense a rest, like at that point your offense is going to get tired.
Yeah, Peyton Manning lived.
Oh yeah, he was the god of that. Yeah, absolutely. Brady even his dink and dunk, take him all the way down the field. 12 fucking minutes, 97 yards.
Difference between Brady and Manning, though, was Brady, for the most part, throughout his career, had a top 5 defense.
Well, yeah,
Manning did not. Manning did not.
Rarely had a top 10 defense.
Yeah,
let's be real. Unless you had Dwight Freeney on the fucking net, like what do you?
Dwight Freeney and Bob Sanders.
Freeney was a monster.
Freeney was, him. Yeah.
I loved him.
I don't know. Like I said,
The
it's
only
just
reason I even started watching the Colts is when Peyton Manning got drafted in '98, and I'm like, yes, or '99, I guess at that point.
something. Just I don't know, man. Just because you would see it so many times last year is on the rare occasion the Bills did get pressure and they sacked the quarterback. The guy that got the sack is coming off the field.
Yeah.
Well, now he's in that. Now he's in that. The old lineman he just beat. He's in that guy's head now. Keep him on the field. That's why Aaron Donald is as dominant as he is. That's why J.J. Watt, for the longest time in his career, was striking fear in the quarterbacks because it's just like, man, I know if he gets by my left tackle or right tackle once, he's going to be in that guy's head, and
He's going to do it more. Yeah. I mean,
right.
you're an Aaron Donald or a J.J. Watt type, you're going to do it no matter if you're in their head or not. Like,
right.
These guys can be as confident as they want to be, and you're still going to tear them apart.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's where it comes down to, like, a guy like Rousseau. Like, you get a big-ass motherfucker like that, just shoves you around. Like, that's going to intimidate you from then on the rest of the game, like you said. Like, that's a big thing. And I really think that's going to happen. Like, Jerry never struck that fear in anybody because he was not a big guy. He was fast and athletic, and he can get past you, but he's not that guy that can hold your hand out like that, and, like, you can't touch him. Like, he's just, you know, like that little child that trying to hit you, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Gregory Rousseau's size is just a cheat code.
yeah. I totally agree.
It's like playing, like you go back to playing Madden. That's just like making yourself a defensive end.
Yeah.
Doing a creative player as a defensive end and making your guy that big.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Like God is literally trying to win a game of Madden right now. Like,
and all he had to do was make Mike Vick. All he had to do was make him like a decent person. He would have, Super Bowl would have been yours.
I wholeheartedly think if all that shit did go down with Vic, that he definitely could have won a Super Bowl with that team.
Yeah.
He definitely could have won a Super Bowl with that team.
Absolutely. But I mean, here we
are. He was the face of the league.
Had another one too, but here we are.
Yeah, we don't talk about that one.
Oh no, everybody talks about that one.
Well, I don't talk about that one.
Oh man. You would hate the NFL memes pages. Oh. Other than that, Bills. Who was it that they picked up? Picked up a tight end in the 5th round, 5th or 6th round.
Oh, you're still talking draft?
It was. We were still talking Bills, and then we just got off track there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they picked up the tight end. I want to see. I know he's not much of anything like special, but I kind of want to see. He can he's more of a blocker, which we always go for, and I'm hoping he's not just like another Dawson Knox or another, what was his name?
Tommy Sweeney.
Yeah. I mean,
that's why I really kind of. Here's what I hope happens, and I forgot which one of the talk shows it was, but I heard it. I'm like, yeah, that's actually how I'd rather have it go down. Don't trade for Zach Ertz. Wait for the Eagles to cut him, and then sign him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you don't have to give up anything. He'll be cheaper.
No,
absolutely.
No. Yeah, get him cheaper, because the Bills are successful enough now where they could get him, where they could convince him to sign here for not a lot of money.
Oh, well, yeah, we're actually good enough for.
We were thinking the same thing about J.J. Watt though when he got released, but obviously it was about if you went to fucking Arizona for $30 million over 2 years, it was about the money. You don't care about winning championships.
No, at this point, no. He was just so happy to get out of Texas, and it wasn't even that far away. He's like, we got to move a couple states over. Yeah, okay, cool. I can still come see mom. And she
the thing about Ertz is though, Ertz already has a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But he's also made a ton of money. So he's got the two things every player could possibly want. Could he do like, you know what?
Let me see himself to the rest of the league and
let me go see
getting back to where he was. I think that's
let me go see if I could go up to these ragtag group of guys up in Buffalo.
But are we
And
really viewed that way still, though? I mean, we're actually a contender.
I
at
mean,
this point, you know?
Brandon Beans really built the team out of a ragtag group of guys.
You're not wrong. Yeah, they just happen to mesh so well together.
Yeah. Micah Hyde has openly admitted he did not want to sign in Buffalo. But they were the only team. They were the only team giving him an offer. Like,
which is actually, I'm not gonna lie, that's kind of surprising because he wasn't horrible in Green Bay.
no.
He was, a solid safety. Like they had a rotation at that point too in Green Bay.
Yeah.
And he was a good safety, and he played, like 80% of the fucking snaps.
Played corner, he returned kicks.
Yeah, he came down as a nickel corner, he came down and blitz, like Micah Hyde was not as bad as Green Bay made him out to be. And honestly, like at this point, they're probably sad that he didn't fucking bring it out. How was that cookout today? Yeah, no, it sucked. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure it was good. I just couldn't make it, dude. But yeah, no, Micah Hyde, easily one of like the most like, I don't know how to put it, but they changed his mind. Like come in, we'll pay you this much, we'll do what we got to do, and then we'll see how you are. And then he just fucking smoked it between him and Poyer that first year together.
Him and Poyer just they can communicate without talking. They do everything you want a good safety tandem to do, and that's why I really, really think they are low-key the best safety tandem in the league.
I've been saying that for 2 years, but that's bias.
No,
I mean, who else do you really have out there?
I really believe it. I can't
digital boom back in the day.
I can't name two safeties on any other team in the league. I can probably name one of them, but I can't name the other one. You know what I mean? Like, but that's, again, I live around here.
Yeah, no, exactly.
What decade are the Sabres going to do anything?
That's what I was laughing about.
I'll be fucking dead.
It'll probably be like 2060. 2060. I'll give him that. Somewhere between 2060 and 2070, the Sabres are going to go past round one in the playoffs.
Dude, you know what makes me so sad? We'll talk about this for 1 second. This is all I'll say. The thing that makes me the most sad about the Sabres being so terrible is
we have talent.
No, it's not even that.
No?
You're never, ever going to get to hear Rick Jeanneret make the call of the Sabres winning the Stanley Cup.
Oh, all I can hear is, it's scores! That's all I can hear in my head right now. I fucking love Jeanneret. The team is full of bugs.
Can you imagine how epic that call would have been if the Sabres
my God.
won?
The Sabres win the fucking Stanley Cup and I can finally fucking retire. Yeah.
But no,
I can hear that.
90 fucking years old. He's going to die soon.
Dude, he almost did. That's why he's on part-time now. Like, come on. He literally almost died. That's why he's on.
Yeah.
They were like, no, we're not going to let you do this full-time, 40-some games a year anymore. You can't do it. Sorry, buddy. All right. I completely agree with you. I wish Jeanneret could call us a Stanley Cup win. It's never going to happen, though.
Robbie. I fucking love Rob Ray, though.
So I met Rob Ray. He was in Gowanda at Harley Happening. And it was like a bike fest kind of thing. I don't know if you've ever been to it with Brandy or nothing. But
no.
Yeah, no, that's probably good. You guys stayed away from here. But no, I met Rob Ray one time. It was about I was 17. He came to town, and they had this whole thing. He was the coolest fucking guy you'll ever meet. He chatted.
He is a cool dude.
He's a horrible announcer.
Oh, he's terrible. Yeah, he's got no personality.
I guarantee you he'll punch the shit out of you, though. So, I mean, he's got that going for him still. He's still in shape.
Here's how I know Rob Ray is the coolest dude. I've never personally met him or spoken to him, but I was doing a siding job up off of Niagara Falls Boulevard. I forgot what street it was on, but Rob Ray owned the rental property right next door. And he showed up there with his kid, and he was doing mulch with his kid. And one of the tenants in his rental property had his problem. Rob Ray was just like, he was just a dude about it. Like, he was just like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll take care of that. Goes to his van or his car or whatever, grabs a bunch of fucking tools and goes and fixes the things. Don't worry about it, man. Just like, I'll make sure it's all taken care of. You know, the guy had a bunch of problems that he was dealing with around the apartment. Rob was just like, I'll fucking take care of it, man. Don't worry. Rob had his kid with him. They were doing mulch, and Rob was just like, get this done. We'll go do whatever, you know, just like, wow,
Help me
man.
out with this. We'll do whatever you
See
want.
him like in his day-to-day life like that. Not, I mean, I know people see these like athletes and shit out at restaurants and stuff like that.
Yeah, like when I worked at Joe's,
but to like see him interacting with his kid and interacting with a tenant at his renter property was just like the fucking coolest thing in the world to me for some reason. And I instantly turned into like a little kid and was just like,
oh my God.
do I go say hi to Rob Ray and tell him I loved all the times he punched Ty Doby in the face? Like,
I like Elijah's comment down here. He's like, some real shit. He's like, Rick should pre-record that so they can play it any time the Sabres ever win the Stanley Cup. He's like, I was like, I mean, if they ever, go Stars. You're a Stars fan too, you fucking cocksucker. I mean, yeah, no, Elijah, totally cool idea, great comment.
We'll make sure we write into the Sabres about that.
Honestly, that is not a horrible idea because let's be honest, like, if Rick can call it even in the future, like, yes, please. Yes, please.
They gotta get a fucking hologram of him too on the ice.
Dude. I mean, they did it with Michael Jackson. They can do it with fucking Rick Jenneret. You get a hologram up in the like tunnel or something, you know?
Oh yeah, man, that would be awesome.
Absolutely could be done.
Back to the Bills.
Back to the Bills. Where were we?
Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs hurting his oblique and still playing in the playoffs.
Does he
Beasley breaking his leg and still playing in the playoffs? Elijah, you got to be missing Beasley at this point from the Cowboys. I mean, what do you got for slot that? I mean, this is Beasley's best year ever. Like he almost hit 1,000.
Beasley's.
He was like 976. He almost hit 1,000.
Beasley's past two seasons.
Best year ever. Allen's best year ever. We just got to get a running back to have their best year.
Beasley's past 2 years have been career years.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, what's he done? Just get better. Just get better. Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's been in the league a few years now. Like,
do we really think? Do we think Diggs puts up the same numbers? Not the same numbers, but similar numbers to last year.
Yes and no. I'll say 110 catches, 1,256, and 10 touchdowns. He'll hit that 10 touchdown mark this year.
Yes.
Too bad Beasley catches are going down, but his yards went up. That almost made sense.
And his touchdowns went up too.
What, his touchdowns went up too, yeah. Is it too late for the Cowboys to trade Prescott for Rodgers? Yo. Okay, we are almost there to talk about Rodgers.
We're not quite yet to the Rodgers report.
Yeah, Rodgers report is right after the AFC East, but we're trying to finish the Bills. Yeah. So what I'm gonna say is Diggs he'll have 110 catches. He'll go down a little bit because Gabe Davis is emerging. He had more touchdowns last year as a rookie. He's a big boy. He can win, contested catches. So I got Gabe Davis taking more touchdowns away like he did last year. But I got Diggs being hungrier, He wants to just keep going. He's going to be healthy, which he's proven he can be. Even he can play when he's hurt, apparently.
With COVID protocols lifted and everything else, him and Allen will be able to spend even more time together, getting to know, or not getting to know each other, but going over everything, the little nuances of the routes and all that kind of shit.
Yeah, no, and it was kind of funny. I saw a picture. I wish I could show it right now, but I'm not used to this whole software thing. Anyway, it's a picture of Stephon Diggs being all like hardcore, like ready, and then Gabe Davis behind him, like, hey, like, it's party time. And like it just shows like everybody's getting along, everybody is actually giving a shit about each other. It's not just here to make money, not just here to win. Like they give a shit about each other. I think it's gonna be for the long haul,
Yeah.
Like I think it's really gonna be promising. As long as Diggs doesn't start getting to be all me when his targets go down. Well, that's the thing. I mean, we have only had 1 year with him, so that is a possibility. But like we talked about it last time, like I think it was a thing when he went to talk to Kirk Cousins, and it's just like, it's kind of like, yeah, sure, whatever, just saying what he wants to like make him feel better, And then Adam Thielen was like his bestie after that. Won't be about the receiver. It's going to be more about a balance. Yeah, no, I agree that running back is going to be a thing. He we'll have more check down options with Breida in the backfield. We'll have more check down options. But it comes down to Allen at this point. Like, is he going to take that? Is he going to want to take that? He's not Tom Brady. He's not going to take every check down. He's probably still going to want to go find Diggs in the end zone. He's probably still going to want to go find Davis in the end zone. He's probably still going to want to find Beasley 15 down the field in the middle of the field, Like, Allen is a Brett Favre. He's going to go for the big play when he can. I think he's a little safer than Brett Favre. He's not going to have the most interceptions in history. He's safer interceptions-wise. I'm not going to say fumble-wise because he drops the ball like an ass.
No, he drops the bad ones, and he likes it's when the pocket starts breaking down, instead of going forward or side to side, he goes backwards.
Yeah, no, he had that problem. He kind of was correcting that a little last year too, which was nice to see.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that is still a problem. Yeah.
I'm most excited to see what Matt Breida does. I honestly think Matt Breida walks in and just takes the number one running back job.
Oh, yeah. No, I guarantee he does.
Dude's a home run hitter, man. He is a home run hitter.
Yeah, he's the fastest back we have. But is he going to average like 4.6, 4.8? Like our back state was at 4.5, 4.5 or 4.6 for both of them, something like that.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty good average.
I mean, what overall, I like about the Bills' running back situation, I mean, is one of them going to be the odd man out?
If it is, it's Singletary.
You think so?
I think Moss could take it over Singletary, to be honest.
I could see it, yeah.
It's one of those that could happen, it couldn't happen, but Singletary.
But at the same time, I mean, the 49ers, though, have had success just rolling three running backs. They just pick whatever one's the hot hand, and they just go for it.
Both on top five, I do believe yards after contact. Bills weren't lacking running.
Yeah.
Offensive line. Yeah, exactly. That's what I've been saying. And hopefully, with them big-ass dudes that they fucking drafted, that's going to be helping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Singletary. It's all about, like, our pass protection is great. It's the run protection is not. Like, we're not opening holes at all. And Singletary, he can hit those holes. Moss can hit those holes. He just hits them a little faster. Hits them a little harder.
Moss is not a patient runner.
No, he's not, which I don't hate, but I don't like it either.
He is a much smaller Marshawn Lynch, where he's just gonna go forward. That's
where Singletary is like a bigger McCoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean he can be elusive, but he's not as elusive as like a McCoy is. Yeah, the Bills are last in the league almost in yards before contact. Yeah, it's because our offensive line was fucking terrible at run protection.
Yeah, like, Cody Ford got injured.
But Cody Ford wasn't even that great to begin with. Like, let's be real.
Feliciano missed like half the season.
Yeah, and we still extended him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's that.
I love him, though, man. I don't
mind Feliciano, and I especially love the way he defended.
He's the enforcer. He's the
Yeah.
enforcer.
Well, I mean, we drafted boys that are bigger than him now, so he might be like the junior enforcer after that. We have some big boys on. I mean, I know we can go on for days about this, but damn, them boys are big.
Yeah.
So overall, I don't give draft grades. I'm gonna say that right now.
Yeah.
I think draft grades are dumb unless it's like 3 years after the class or something. You know,
Right.
see what they've actually done. So I'm not gonna give a draft grade or anything. I'm gonna stick with what we said earlier, where we ranked them like where we think they're gonna fall in the division. But we'll just stick with that. So as far as you go, you said you had where's that page?
I had the Jets at the bottom.
Yeah. You had Jets, and then you flip-flop with me because I had Patriots, then Miami, then Bills. So you flipped the Patriots and Miami. And then we both agreed for the most part. Washington will be the worst. Giants, Eagles, and then Dallas will be the first.
Yeah.
Where I see Washington and the Giants flip-flopping.
Yeah.
Which, hey, at least we're not like, yeah, we believe the same stuff. You're a liar.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, that would make for boring discussions.
Overall, since we're talking about the AFC East and the NFC East, which division overall did better?
In the offseason? Or
the whole division.
The
whole division altogether. Yeah.
The whole division?
Up to today. Yeah.
Oh, the AFC East.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
The AFC East for sure.
Yeah.
Dallas, or the Giants didn't do much. Dallas, outside of Micah Parsons, hasn't really done much. They signed Keanu O'Neal, safety, but it's not much, you know?
Yeah, no.
I mean, teams in the AFC East, Dolphins made moves. Patriots made a lot of moves, spent the most money.
Made a lot of like pre-draft moves, though.
Yeah.
Damn.
At the same time, if we're looking at it as a whole of like averaging and this and that, it could be the NFC East just because the Jets are that bad. That they make the AFC East. I fully agree.
The Jets bring us down like a whole level. Oh my god! I'm not gonna make the joke I want to make. I'm gonna PM it to you. But yeah, no, that's what it reminds me of with the Jets. Oh god. So I'm gonna choose one more Rodgers to switch into Aaron Rodgers. Yeah.
Let's get the weekly.
I want to just start out with this whole thing. Being a semi Packers fan. So Adam Schefter decided to say all that on draft day with no sources at all. Like, and that was like a recent development that was actually like he had no sources whatsoever. He was just kind of saying it on a hunch and just like putting it out there into the world. Washington will win the division with its defense. See, that's where I was going back and forth. Yeah, I totally believe that's a possibility, Warren. But anyway, so with Aaron Rodgers, like, as a semi-Packers fan, I'm like, oh, this fucking hurts, right? Because you don't really know what's going on. Well, all of these, the Adam Schefter tweet, these supposed leaks from Aaron Rodgers' phone, traded to the Raiders. Yeah, no, he's got 3 teams he's looking at. San Fran, which was his favorite team out of college, the Raiders, or Denver. And I think, honestly, the most likely scenario is Denver. They have more of a complete team than the Raiders, and it's not fucking John Gruden at this point in his career.
Yeah.
But the Adam Schefter tweet, this and that, like, they were all founded on nothing.
Yeah.
Is what it came out to be. Like, there was no leak. There was no Aaron Rodgers leaked text messages. Apparently, that's a thing that they were trying to like push. Like, oh, he's been texting so and so and so and so. No, those were fake. The Adam Schefter tweet had no sources. This and that. he is obviously not happy. Like,
No.
I mean, you're not happy with the situation that's been given to you. Yeah,
I
you're probably gonna want out.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily see it happening. Honestly, at this point, the Raiders have more to give. Yeah, they can give him all he wants. They're not gonna fucking give him a Super Bowl though. Like, you get a Super Bowl in Denver before you'll ever see one in the Raiders again.
He's at the point in his career where he's chasing one more ring.
Yeah, he wants to.
Kind of like where Peyton was at.
That's what
at
exactly what I was going to say.
career.
Yeah, he wants to go with the Peyton route and at least one more before he goes. Hopefully, his arm is not a fucking noodle by that time.
Peyton didn't even win his last one.
Oh God, he
never had a historically good defense.
Yeah, but the year before that, when he got into the Super Bowl and had a career year himself, you know, like his arm at that point at the end of that year was shot into the next year. He somehow willed them to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's all about what he's offered. I gotta remember Green Bay wants to get. Yeah, no, and it's already been made true that Rodgers doesn't want the money, because if that was the case, he was offered $40 fucking million and turned it down. And that is an actual fact from Green Bay head office. That's true. He doesn't have a choice. Peyton finished his contract and moved. Yeah, no, completely agree. I'm just saying, like, at that point, Indy didn't want to bring him back anyway. They didn't want to extend him. Like, they were afraid of his neck just snap, you know, and that's dumb, you know, like Joe Theismann, but dead.
Yeah, he had to get that neck fusion. He had to fucking.
Yeah, that was rough. That was rough. Bar's under contract, has no leverage. He actually does. He could sit out if he wanted to.
That's a lot of people. That's what people are worried about with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, it wasn't to the same extent as Mahomes, where he got choked out on the fucking
No,
field.
but that was after years and years.
That was what injured Manning's neck to that point happened years earlier when he got tackled in a similar fashion to what happened to Mahomes against the Browns in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, no, it's one of those, like,
that's
what starts it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going to affect that. That injury, whatever that was last year, is not going to affect Mahomes right away. But 4 or 5 years down the line from now, keep an eye on it. His arm strength is going to,
I'm not saying, like, because I was a professional athlete or anything, but no, but, like, you know, I was an active kid. I did a lot of sports.
You don't fuck with neck shit.
Yeah, no, between, you know, wrestling and football and this and that. Like, I was seeing a chiropractor at 12 years old, like, because, you know, I got hit wrong in football. I recovered a fumble. I got hit, like, below my shoulder pads just right, and it, like, shifted something.
Yeah.
Like, when somebody's face mask hit me, like, in the back. Like, you don't mess with back and necks, like, at all.
No.
Like, that's not something you want to fuck with. It really isn't. And, yeah, I've been dealing with that ever since. And I was, like I said, I was 12 years old. It was 21 years ago. God damn it, that makes me feel old. Damn,
Remember, they do have love. Remember, they do have love.
I mean, yeah, I'm so confident.
If they were so confident in Jordan Love, they would take whatever they could get for Rodgers.
If they were
they would just take whatever they could get for Rodgers if
this
they had
be a fiasco. This would be it was your time, just like Peyton. Like, oh, it's your time.
Yeah.
Like, let's be real. Rodgers just won MVP last year. Like, he can and will do it again.
He won that MVP. And he won that MVP to spite the Packers.
Exactly. He's like, oh, this is what you're gonna do? Check out what I'm gonna do. Study. I fully agree. Like, Aaron Rodgers has a shitty personality, a shitty attitude as a person. As a football player, though, like, we are not worthy. You know what I mean?
Right.
As a football player himself, like, we are not worthy. And you can't go based on wins. You can't go with something like that. Super Bowls. Like, that's a team thing. Like, yeah, Aaron doesn't have, like, the career stats yet. You know what I mean? But he can get up there in yards. He can get up there in touchdowns. He has the best out of anybody in any career touchdown to interception ratio. that is something you can't just like replicate with another person. Like I don't see Jordan Love doing that.
No.
I really don't. I don't see that at all. I hate Brady, but he is the true GOAT. He has won the most Super Bowls. He went to another team and won a Super Bowl. Like I don't hate him as a person. I mean, he does advertise Uggs has a supermodel wife and sent 7 Super Bowls. Okay. Yeah, okay. I hate him. All right. I get it. But let's be real. It still is a team thing. Like, Super Bowls are a team thing.
Yeah.
I cannot equate Super Bowls to a personal stat at all. That's why I think Rodgers is, like, in a league of his own, and he at least deserves to have, 1 or 2 more at least.
At least one.
You got a motherfucker who's got 7. You got Rodgers who has 1. You got Favre who has 1. You got 45 years of Packers quarterbacks with 2 Super Bowls. Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, it's a shitty situation that both sides have created. Both Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
For a better team. Yeah, absolutely. Aaron Rodgers turned down a big contract, so I don't know what his end game is, to be honest, but I guess we'll see.
Rodgers, both Packers and Rodgers have created this entirely shitty situation.
Oh yeah, one's ego
like the old
is
saying
better
goes,
than
there's
the other's
and like
ego.
the old saying goes, there's 3 sides to every story. There's my side, your side,
and the actual like
and the truth.
Yeah. Yep.
And
turned down
who knows?
If that was the case, he wouldn't have given a shit about winning a fucking MVP that year.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think he turned down the contract to just fight. I think he turned it down. He didn't know what the fuck he wanted to do yet. Like, I think he actually didn't make a decision at that point.
Right.
And now I still don't think he exactly knows what he wants to do. He really wants to go to San Fran. He's been saying that this whole time.
Yeah, but the only way he's getting there, the only way he's going to get there is through free agency.
Yeah.
Only way he's getting there is nah. And the thing is, who knows what really happened? The Packers could have told him, all right, after next year, we're going to start thinking about moving on to Love. And he could have just snapped and just be like, well, fucking get rid of me now then. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, absolutely. He should fucking retire. Yeah, no.
Or he walked in and
said, I do agree, Warren, though. He is definitely a diva. He is definitely a drama queen. He definitely takes way more to heart than he should. He really is. I love Brett Favre back in the day. And when Aaron Rodgers came in and, like, his attitude that he had, okay. There's more to be desired there. And then the older he gets, like, then you have a situation with I forgot what year exactly it was, 16, I think, the relax thing, right?
Yeah.
A few years ago. And then he just tears off 14-1 after saying relax. Like, you don't fucking see that. Like, he can will the team to win if he wants, and he just, I don't know. He can't do it all himself. So I can see where he's a little upset. I can see where, he might want to try something different. Being from Buffalo area, Warren, you know yourself. Do you really want to stay in the cold when you get a chance to go to California? You want, that relax was a shot at the fans. Yeah, I know that. But I'm saying now he's trying to take a shot at his own team at this point.
At his employer.
Yeah, and at this point, it's like, this is kind of a lose-lose situation for both of you. Like, one of you either need to stop being so stubborn, Aaron Rodgers, you need to stop being so stubborn. Or, I mean,
Packers be like, he doesn't want to be here. It's better for us to just cut ties with him.
Premium picks. He's like, I just live here. Yeah, but you don't want to because it's cold as shit. Think he wants to live in Wisconsin where it's colder? No. He wants to go to California, He wants to go to Vegas. Yeah, he wants to go to Denver. I mean, it can be cold, like, sometimes. Depends on what your elevation is.
Well, if he's playing in Denver, he's at the highest elevation.
It doesn't mean he has to live there, though. You can go an hour away, not even. Like
That's
from
true.
here to the stadium, to Bill's Stadium, Highmark, whatever the fuck they want to call it. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go Armadillos. I just live here.
The whole situation is the whole Rodgers thing. I mean, I've been keeping an eye on it, but it's just like,
Oh, yeah. Well, I've been keeping a huge
it just
eye
seems
on
like
it.
every article is the same thing with like
Yeah.
one or two different sentences, and it's just
You gotta weed out the fucking bullshit, you know?
you don't know which side you agree with, and you don't know what you want to see him do, because part of me wants to see Aaron Rodgers retire as a Packer because
Yeah. But didn't you want to
it's
see
Aaron.
Brett Favre retire as a Packer too?
I just wanted to see Brett Favre retire.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, okay.
Because
I did not, as a Bills fan, like him to come to the Jets, but Warren, I totally agree. He does want the spotlight. That's kind of why we were laughing. We did our first episode the day after the draft there, and we're like, oh yeah, all these kids have their day to be drafted, have their moment in fame, have their day
live
to
their
get,
dream.
like, live their dream exactly. And Aaron Rodgers is like, hey, can I go somewhere else? And then boom, the NFL just shits on everything these kids work for because Aaron Rodgers, some 36-year-old motherfucker in Wisconsin, wants to fucking move away.
Let's talk about these rookies' future. That was
We
last
did
week.
that already.
Yeah, we already did that.
That was the whole point of the first half of the episode. I'll go over it real quick though, because realistically, like, we're like 3 weeks into the Aaron Rodgers report, and like, I can give a fuck anymore about what he wants to do. We'll go quick. Miami's wide receiver will be a good solid 2, and he will be all right. Zach Wilson will he will Sam Darnold as long as Saleh or however you pronounce their head coach's name forgets his position as head coach. That will probably be a thing. Let's see. So this is the quick recap here. I'm sorry, but yeah, Bills. Gabe Davis, not a rookie. I think he is slated to have a great year. Rousseau and Basham, I think, are going to be a solid workhorse on both edges. Having Starr in the middle taking up an extra spot, having both those two on the sides are going to fucking crush it. Darnold 2.0, yes. I absolutely think so. And I hope I'm not wrong. Let's see, Jets, they're going to jet. Who cares? Patriots, I mean, who did they really bring in of any? We didn't really talk about their draft class, honestly, besides Mac Jones. Who really did they bring in? And he's probably not even going to start. Rousseau is a bum. Yeah, I heard you on draft day, and I still hear you now.
Watch the tape.
Rousseau is the biggest motherfucker, dude. He's going to take up space. That's the whole point. No, I can understand why you don't like the pick. He's just so big and he's so lengthy and he can learn. That's the biggest thing about him. So
really,
I don't give draft grades.
He didn't like when
3 years. We'll see.
he didn't. Warren didn't like that pick, but he must have. So if he didn't like that, then he must be okay with what the Bengals did. Because that was the worst pick in the draft. What the Bengals did.
So you want to do AFC North next week? AFC and NFC North next week, or do you want to go south?
Let's go south.
He's too much a project. You sound like all the people that hated on Josh at this point. Like, Josh Allen was a big project, but look what he's become. Like, Rousseau is a big project, but look what he can become. Like, he's a big project.
Yeah. Oh, he's a project, but I think he's got tremendous upside.
Yeah, just like Allen.
But I want us to go south next week so we can talk about Trevor Lawrence.
In just 1 minute, okay? My daughter had to come say hi. Yeah, no, Rousseau and Allen are They're like two peas in a pod the way they were drafted. I really believe it. Like they were drafted higher than they probably could have been, but the upside more outweighs the downside, I believe. Anderson Phillips was a
Just go down saying every listed
Oliver was
all
a
the
project,
players.
yeah.
Well, the Bills made
Actually,
it
if
to
you want to
the
get
AFC.
technical, the Arizona Cardinals are the worst mathematically in history. And that's a fact. Check out 5 Points vids with that.
Well, according to
I'm hoping that shout out gets me like a sub from them or something.
every player the Bills got is a project. Well, then, God damn it, if they made it to the AFC Championship game with a bunch of projects last year, I'm fucking all about it.
Yeah, you imagine them in their peak. We're going to be the Patriots 2.0. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'm ready if it happens. Honestly, on that note, like we need someone to plug in and go at it. Harrison Phillips. I want to tell you one thing about Harrison Phillips, and this is a personal experience. I worked at Uncle Joe's restaurant in Hamburg on Southwestern Boulevard, right? Harrison Phillips came in like every week on my shift. It was like fucking Sunday night, right? Sunday evening. He would come in. No, it was not Sunday, obviously. What am I kidding? Like Saturday or Friday. It was one of those days. Like before game day. And he would come in. It was him, his girlfriend, and a shit ton of plates in front of him. Like we sent out like 4 plates and we're expecting like, a party of 6 or something, right? And this motherfucker, dude, he's plowing like 4 out of 6. And his woman has like waffles and like eggs and home fries or something. Dude, his woman is like 6'3". Like she is a monster. He is a monster. Like she is big. Like seeing them two eat together, like I'm just like, damn. Like I feel like a fat ass, and I'm like 5'8". Yeah, no, I cooked for Harrison Phillips a bunch, and he's actually like the nicest guy you could ever meet. Like he's like a Kyle Williams.
Yeah,
but he needs more talent.
he's getting
really
there,
great
though.
people, no doubt about it. Just
he had the
more.
setback not this past season, but the season before with the injury.
The injury, yeah, absolutely.
It was a huge setback for him. But he'll be all right. But on that note, yeah, I think next week, AFC South, NFC South, so we can talk about
You're
Trevor
talk about your
Lawrence.
Falcons and shit.
Talk about my Falcons. Talk about Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. No, you know what? Yeah. Let's go south for sure. Absolutely.
Because there's actually a lot going on in the. There's actually a lot going on in the South.
With Oliver's excuse is that he's still learning too. I mean,
yeah.
He got better over the season. Not a lot better, but he got better over the season.
Oh, yeah.
So wasn't he supposed to be a badass pass rusher? Yeah. I expect everybody from the college area to be instantly the best pass rusher or at their position. So I guess that's how that goes.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, people need work. People need work. Like people need to learn. People need to get better at their craft. That's why you go from the juniors to the pros. That's all learning. I think he's going to get better. I think he has a lot of potential. I still think he's a little small. Like I said, he's no Basham, he's no Russo. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Falcons should show up this year. Well, I should say Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan statistically has been a top 5 quarterback in the last 4 years. So I don't think it's him you got to worry about, even at 36. Not going to lie to you.
No,
it's not him. It's the defense and that offensive line is
Matt Ryan.
That O-line
can
is
consistently score 35 points a game. The problem is their defense gives up 36.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, no, that is something we will definitely get into next week. With the
so
AFC
they went and drafted the best tight end in the draft so they could go out and score 42 points a game.
To still get scored 40 or 36 on them. Yeah. Like, we're going to win this time, though.
Yeah. No, I want to talk about the South next week.
Yeah, no,
'cause
I've been looking at the Saints. I want to see what's going on with them in the offense.
Drew Brees is gone.
Yeah,
Tampa brought back all 22 starters.
that is insane. That's the
Atlanta.
thing we were going to talk about in honor of Dennis tonight, which happy birthday, Mrs. Williams. That's why Dennis is
Oh,
here
yeah.
tonight.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Williams.
But, yeah, no, Dennis will be back next week, and we'll definitely talk about the AFC South and the NFC South.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about the AFC South except for Deshaun Watson and the shitty-ass Texans. And, the rest of it's, like, intriguing. Trevor Lawrence, okay, number 1 draft pick. You want to talk about him. But the Texans, the Saints quarterback situation. Oh, what's really going to happen there, It's going to be good. It should be a good episode.
It's going to be a fun show. And
Absolutely.
who knows what other news is going to pop up during the week that we might have to talk about.
Exactly.
Hopefully we have more updates in the weekly Rodgers report. I would like
I'm
another
hoping the
edition.
Rodgers report ends by next week, okay?
If nothing happens this week.
If it really comes down to it, I will make the video I was going to make on it. But I don't want to because it's trivial at this point.
Yeah.
It's the same shit every week. I don't want to be one of those guys. I'm not total pro sports. I'm not a fucking lame ass. I want to make good shit.
Right.
But no, AFC South, NFC South. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
it really does.
I think that does it for tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. We went a little longer, surprising.
Yeah.
Late.
We had technical difficulties, and
I got banned for fucking 30 days, so there's that. Again. But yeah, so you guys have a good night. This will be up on YouTube with the cool intro tomorrow. I ain't doing that shit tonight.
Cool intro.
Yeah, no, our little our paper measuring.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's our intro. We're gonna keep it until we find something cooler. I think I made that in like 5 minutes. I was like, I don't know. Here's some. I went on Band Lab and I'm like, here, boop, 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 boop. That's a cool song. All right. But yeah, you guys have a good night. Andrew, you have a good night. Next week we will have Dennis back, and we will have. You probably won't hear me as much, so it's probably good for you guys. So on that note, y'all have a good night. We will see you next week. I'll see you during the week. Trying to put up some videos on Wednesdays, hopefully, like Wednesday nights, probably. But yeah, I'll talk to you, Andrew, about that.
Oh yeah.
Y'all have a good night. Peace.